everyone, welcome to the Goddess and Charmers channel. I am Claire and today is day 6 of our 12 days of Christmas. And yes, Ellen has decided to grace us with her presence for a video. The first one she's decided that she wants to be in, and I've tried putting her down. She jumps back up. So I apologise in advance if she's doing Ellenisms, let's say. But if you have not subscribed already, please do click subscribe, click the bell next door. That will notify you of when all the other days of crystals goes live. In the drop down below this video, you will find my Facebook group link as well as the website link. And today on day 6, I mean, this is going so fast, we're going to be talking about Herkimer diamonds from the Herkimer mine in the US. So I have a few examples here if Ellen would like to share them. So this is example number 1 of what a Herkimer looks like. These are stunning Herkimers. Really, really stunning. Thank you, Ellen. And then you can see that it's actually rough on the back, which is just so beautiful. And this has iron inclusions in it. I mean, oh my gosh, these are so powerful. Then here's another one to have a little look at. Let's have a nice little look before we go into correspondences and how to work with these guys. How beautiful is this one? And this one on the back has a little bit of matrix where it was connected to the rock. So this would be really good for someone who also wanted a little bit of grounding with their Herkimer and also wants to be able to connect to the actual land that this was mined from. And then if we can get under Ellen's belly, thank you, Ellen, we have this beautiful guy, which is just, oh, I love this one. This is absolutely a stunner. I adore it. Look at the clarity. A bit over my hand there, I think. The clarity of this one. I mean, there's a massive rainbow here. Just unbelievably beautiful. And this one has actually got, which has a rainbow right through the middle of it, has got a baby double terminated Herkimer that has grown on the bottom there. You see? So with Herkimers, they have different grades, so you can decide what your budget will allow for. You can get really titchy ones like the one that's growing on the base of this, and they will cost you anywhere from sort of, depending on the quality, if the tips are perfect, from £6 up to £15. Then for this size in AAA, like top grade, it would have both of its be a double terminated one, which are the hardest to find because there's not a load of them. Obviously they need to be able to grow in an environment where no other crystals are going to bump into them, where they're not going to bump into matrix and they're not going to bump into other rocks and all of that. So you'll see some double terminated ones that are very, very clear as well, with some rainbows in, and depending on the size, they can range from several £100s up to thousands of pounds. Now these ones are really beautiful high grade ones, but they are obviously, as you can see, not double terminated. They are completely natural as they came out of Mother Earth. Now, Herkimer diamonds are quartz, but they are next level quartz. They are insanely high vibration ascension crystals connected to the upper chakras, so third eye, crown, and even soul star. These are the crystals you want to work with if you want to really open yourself up to your spiritual path. If you want to take your spiritual work to the next level, then a Herkimer diamond would be the one to work with. It opens up and kind of balances your energy centers that are to do with your intuition, your psychic abilities, your magical abilities, your abilities to connect with your spirit guides. If that's an area that you have had trouble in the past, or you would just like to be able to hear the messages clearer, to communicate more clearly with your guides, then Herkimer diamonds help facilitate that. Now, if you've been quite blocked, so perhaps you've never heard your guides, you're really trying to work with them, and you've just not made that connection yet, or if you already work with your guides, but you get dribs and drabs and you have to work pretty hard to decipher things, it's good to be aware that when you first start working with a Herkimer for that kind of work, that you could all of a sudden get a bit of a bombardment as things begin to move and shift and energy shifts, and your guides can really get their messages through. So you want to make sure you are really grounding after working with your Herkimer and staying quite grounded generally, so that those messages can slow down and you'll be able to decipher them. And the more you get used to the energy of the crystal, the more things will settle. If you don't know much about grounding, if you're in my closed Facebook group, if you go to the files section, there's a helpful links. File 2, when you click on that, has a link to my group grounding video I did, where we go through a whole method of grounding in video like this. You can do it along with me, and that's just in the group. You can view and use anytime if you remember. So grounding, super important. So that's how you work with it for your guides. It can also help to activate the wisdom and help you to decipher the wisdom of other crystals. So if you have a Lemurian, a rutilated piece of quartz, if you have something with a portal coding that you have not been able to access, or you're trying to access but you're having a bit of trouble with it, this can really help you to access other crystals, regardless of whether they're other Herkimers, whether they're quartz, whether they're Lemurians, whether they're rutile. It doesn't matter. It's an amplifier basically, which is why it amplifies your psychic abilities, it amplifies your ability to communicate with your guides, it amplifies your magic. So if you are setting intentions and working magic and ritual, you can have this on your altar. That energy will spread across the altar, but you can also put paper or bay leaves with your intentions and store them under Herkimer diamonds. Now, when it comes to your spiritual path, if you want to, perhaps you're trying to find your matron, patron, goddess. Perhaps you're trying to further your journey work. Journey work with a Herkimer is next level. It helps to clear blockages. It helps that your mind is in the right place. It's extremely high vibration. Having one in each hand, you'll often hear people call them flying crystals when you do journey with a Herkimer in both hands, because they literally lift you up. If you pair that with some really high grade frankincense like the royal green or the sacred essential oil, then you're going to have the best journey. So again, if you struggle with journey, or if you want to take that journey work that you are doing to the next level, I would totally recommend getting a Herkimer diamond, because they are so wonderful to work with. But again, grounding. Now, with us, like I said, with your magical workings, keep a Herkimer on your altar, because it's constantly activating your tools that are on there. So if you have a wand on there, if you have several rituals or intentions on the go, if you have a grid on there, keep this near your grid. If you're working with the tinier ones, you can actually put them in your grid, and they are going to activate, they are going to raise the vibration. You don't want to keep Herkimers in your bedroom. You think quartz is bad in your bedroom? A Herkimer, unless you're deliberately doing dream work, obviously. If you're trying to do lucid dreaming or whatever, then it's a good partner. But if you are just trying to go to sleep, You don't want to keep one of these in your bedroom. Now, if you're trying to find the root cause of health problems, if you're going through a health journey, if you're working on physical health and well-being, then this would be a really good gemstone to pair with your others, such as Super 7, such as sugilite, bloodstone. It really depends on what you are working on, but it's a great stone to put in there because, again, it's activating, it's raising up all of those other crystals. And Herkimers are really powerful healers. They're really good for releasing past trauma, whether that relates to this lifetime or past lifetimes. If you are trying to heal down your family line, then you can incorporate a Herkimer diamond. Any work, like I said, with the upper chakras, this would be the one to go with. You can work with it when you're doing tarot or divination. You can keep it with your divination tools. If you can have a couple, then obviously you can keep one with your tools all the time. And again, it's going to constantly be activating those cards, enhancing your connection with your cards. And then when you start reading with the cards, you can keep it in your hand or keep it next to the cards. And it's going to activate those upper chakras and allow all of your wisdom, intuition, connection to the guides, everything to flow, and for you to be able to read better, do better divination. So it's really a power tool. This is like a little powerhouse crystal for your spiritual practice, whatever it is that you personally do, whether that's meditation, journey work, ritual. This is going to enhance it. You can lay down and give yourself a crystal treatment with a Herkimer programmed for healing, but I would pair it with other crystals. So I would put a grounding crystal down by your feet just to give you an anchor, and then pair in some other healing crystals that are specific to the healing work that you are trying to do. They're also great programmable for anything because, like quartz, they're like a pretty open crystal. Would I choose a Herkimer if I wanted to work on prosperity? Not really, no. If I wanted to perhaps amp up a grid, I could put some small ones in, but that's not really the area you'd go for. But anything involving your spiritual practice, anything involving your upper chakras, anything involving psychic work, deity work, working with your familiars, even working with pets and understanding your household pets better, because it's constantly helping you with communication. So if you want better communication with the animals in your household, just the same as working with your guides, it is an opener and a communicator. It's not a throat chakra gemstone in the sense that it will help you communicate your needs with other people. There are other gemstones for that, but this is for communication with those that are not necessarily either of this plane or humans. So animals, guides, guardians, dragons, if you like to work with dragon energy, if you have a dragon skull, unicorn energy. Herkimer's partnered with a crystal skull. I mean, no words. These are powerful gemstones. A lot of them you will find do have anhydrous in. I haven't checked these, to be honest with you. You can get smoky Herkimers and clear Herkimers. Herkimer's most common inclusion is to have iron in there. Oh, is that a record keeper? Ooh, I love discovering things. But yeah, there could be anhydrous in these. I've just not had the chance to look for them yet because these are for next year's treasures. So I have not fully investigated but it would really surprise me if at least one of them did not have an anhydro. So that's another thing. If you're getting a Herkimer diamond, then you want to have a really good in-depth look inside. See what inclusions there are. Look for record keepers, because Herkimers often have like little record keepers. Once I had one Herkimer that I sold in my group in November, but it was like this size, but it had a record keeper on it the size of the face. I mean, talk about crazy town. I've never seen another one since, and it had several of them, but it had this really big massive one. So you can often find small record keepers on them. In hydros is something to look out for. If they do have the iron in them, which is like the more yellowy inclusion, then that is a really good balancer and stabilizer to your work. So it means your Herkimer already has that slightly more grounded, balanced energy. So if you're planning to work with it magically, sometimes getting the ones with iron in gives a good foundation to the magical work that you're going to be doing. And then the Herkimer itself, kind of, the energy can flow up, but there's almost like a base there to it to grow from. So that's something to look for. If you get a smoky Herkimer, then they're really, really good for protective energies, and it will protect you while you're doing your psychic work, magical work, journey work. So, I mean, these guys, there's just so much to say. I could literally talk probably for like a day about Herkimer diamonds, but we're going to leave it there for today. So I really hope you have enjoyed day 6 of Crystal Treasures. Would you like to actually say hi with your face? They're up there. They're up there, look. Ellie, they're up there. What's this? No? Wave. That is it from us. Hopefully we'll see you over in the group or back here tomorrow for the next day of 12 Days of Crystals. Maybe Ellen will wear a Christmas outfit. Oh, she's not going to wear a Christmas outfit. Oh, no. You've already worn 2 of them and loved it. No? Oh, no, you want Snuggles. She wants Snuggles. So that is it for today's video. I really hope you have enjoyed learning about Herkimers. Ellen says hi to everyone, and I will be back tomorrow for day 7. That's it from us. Blessed be.